Okay, all of you are visible. My screen, yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mm, so till we have learned the fourth unit of the C programming language. Today we learn about the last unit, that is unit 5, arrays. Uh, this array is very important as per the programming in C programming, or as per the programming in any language. So you first of all understand this concept by heart. Just 1 minute. Huh? Okay, before going to the details of array, first of all, you understand the definition of array. What do you mean by the array? Because in the examination, till there is no idea clear about your examination, whether your examination is based on the MCQ or the descriptive, means whether it will be conducted as online mode or a offline mode. So you have to prepare both MCQs also as well as the descriptives also, means theory also. So what is array? The array is a common name given to the collection of similar type of array. Array means it is just the common name which is given to the collection of similar type of elements. Similar type of elements means what? Means all the elements of the same kind. Means all the elements just same as the integer data type, or as the float data type, or as the character data type. So array is a collection of data items, all of the same type, accessed using a common name. Suppose if you want to do processing on the 10 different values, or 10 different numbers, then you have to use the concept of array. So that's why the array is the common name. With this array, you can uh, save the multiple numbers, multiple values of the same data type under one name. So one dimensional array is like a list, a two-dimensional array is like a table, and C language places no limits on the number of dimensions in an array through the specific implementation. So you remember that after the definition of array, there are the different kinds of the arrays: one-dimensional array, two-dimensional array, multiple arrays, multi-dimensional arrays. So now we learn about the declaration and initialization initialization. So how to declare the array and how to initialize the array. So to declare the array in a C programming language, you have to follow this syntax. Just 1 minute, just I take one of the pointer spotlight, so that you will get the clear idea to see the particular topic. Type, array name, array size. So this is the general syntax of declaring the array. How to declare the array? Type means here any valid data type in a C language. Then array name. Array name means the name of array, which is just like to the any valid C variable name. And into the square bracket, you have to provide the array size, means how many elements or how many numbers that you want to uh, insert or you want to store under that particular array. And this is called as a single dimensional array. This is the just the declaration of the single dimensional array. Array size must be an integer constant greater than 0, or type can be any valid C data type. So you remember that here the array size must be greater than 0 and type should be the any valid C data type. Suppose for example, here I take one example. Suppose I want to declare the array which consists of the 6 elements and of the type integer. Then how to declare that particular array? So using this int num6. What is int? Int is the valid data type. Num is the name of array and 6 is the size. Means Num is the array which consists of 6 values of the data type integer. This array consists of the 6 integer values. This is the meaning of this declaration statement. Another one example, suppose I want to declare the another array of the name balance and of the type double, and it consists of the 10 different balance values of the type double. Then the statement should be double balance into the bracket 10. Double is the data type, balance is the name of array, and 10 is the size. Means you can just hold the 10 values of the balance of the type double, and for the first example the num array holds the 6 values of the type integer. After declaration, the next point is how to initialize the array. How to initialize? What do you mean by the initialization? Initialization means to give the value to the respected array. So how this initialization of array can be written into the C programming language with this statement. You can initialize the array int data type num6 equal to 1 2 3 4 5 6, because here I am taking 6 as the size of array, and that's why here I am writing the 6 values. You can take the different values also. Just I am taking here the sequence numbers 1 2 3 4 5 6. In another example, you can observe that double balance 5 into the bracket 1000.0, 2.0, 3.4, 7.0, 50.0. Why here 0.0? Because here we have declared the return, we have declared here the data type of array is a double, and it consists of the 5 different values, any different values, any values, but all the values should be of the same type. Means all the values are of the type double. The number of values between these braces, these are called as the braces. This is opening brace and this is a closing brace, cannot be larger than the number of elements that we declare for the array between the square bracket. The meaning is that in the square bracket, if you define here the size of array is 5, then you must take here the only 5 values, not the 6 values. If you declare here the 6 as a size, then you may take the 6 different values. If you omit the size of array, then array just big enough to hold the initialization is created. Means suppose for example, if you write double balance, and in this example suppose you have not declared the size of array, means just it is a blank bracket, and after that you just initialize the value 1 2 3 4 and 5. Automatically it considers, or automatically it takes the space for the 5 elements. Okay. Now this is the diagrammatic representation of the array. Means how actual array is and how the elements are stored into the array. See this diagram. This is the pictorial representation of the array. Here I have taken the example as int num6. Means num is the name of array and 6 are the 6 different values, or this array num consists of the 6 different values. This is the meaning. And see here, this colored figure, colored rectangle, that is called as the num, and it consists of the 6 values 1 2 3 4 5 and then 6. These are called as the values, and if you see just below the rectangle 0 1 2 3 4 and 5, these are called as the array indexes. Array indexes. Suppose for example, array, suppose I want to refer the second element from the array, then the second element value is 3. Array element is 3 and the array index is 2. This is the index 0 1 2 3 4 5. These are called as the index. For referring the array elements, you have to use, or you have to refer the indexes, not actual elements. Okay. These are the 1 2 3 4 5 6 in the blue color. These are the actual values, or these are called as the array elements. But just below this diagram 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 are called as the indexes. Okay. And always one thing is very important that you have to remember is the first element always starts at the zeroth location. Okay. Means internally into the computer's memory, the first element of the array is always starts at the zeroth location. And that's why the one value is stored at zeroth location, the two is stored at first location, three is stored at second location, and similarly. So internally, always remember that the first element always starts at the zeroth index. And most of the time, this question is asked in the MCQ or as a MCQ. Uh, so you must remember that the first element always starts at the zeroth location. Okay. Now, suppose for example, I want to refer the number of two value. So number of two. What is the value of number of two? 3. So how to find out? Number of two means what? 0, 1, 2. And what is the actual value? The value which is included into the cell or which is included into the rectangle. So that is 3. Suppose I want to refer the value of num of 4. So what will be the value? Please unmute the mic and tell me. Suppose I want to refer num of 4. So what will be the value? Please unmute anyone and tell me the answer. Suppose like this, num of 2 equal to 3. Suppose I want to refer the num 4 means the fourth value of num. So what will be the value at the fourth index?
5.
Anyone? Yes, correct. Means the 5 is the actual value and 4 are the indexes. Means you remember that all these indexes are generally used to refer the array elements. And these blue color numbers, boxes 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, all these are the array elements. Okay. Array element 3 is indexed at position 2. Okay. This array element 3, what is the position of array element 3? That is 2 because the index is 2 and therefore the position is 2. So internally, actually the arrays are presented uh, just like the contiguous memory location. Contiguous memory location means what? All the values are placed one after another. 1, then 2, then 3, then 4, then 5, and then 6. And this is called as contiguous, means one after another. All the values are stored one after another, and that's why it is also called as the sequential concept. Means array stores all the elements in a sequential manner. Okay. Now, there are the different kinds of the arrays. One dimensional array, two dimensional array, three dimensional array, or these two dimensional, three dimensional, four dimensionals are collectively referred as the multi-dimensional array. So first we understand about the one dimensional array. So in C programming language, the one dimensional arrays are generally used to store the list of values of the same data type. Or in other words, the one-dimensional arrays are generally used to store the row of values. The data is stored in a linear form. Just I already told you in the previous slide, all the data is stored in a linear form or in a sequential form. Sequential means one after another. Uh, in case of the array, this is not happen. The first value is stored at zeroth location, the second value is stored at fourth location, and third value is stored at fifth location. No. The first value is stored always at the zeroth location, the second value is stored at first, then next value is stored at second location, the next value is stored at third location, and that's why it is called as the linear or the sequential form. So the single dimensional arrays are also called as the 1D array or one dimensional arrays, linear arrays or simply 1D arrays. Means these are the synonyms for simple array. So you should remember that 1D array, then linear arrays and one dimensional arrays. All these are the synonyms. All these are the alternative words which are frequently used for the concept of arrays. With this example, you clear the idea of the one dimensional array. Here in this program, just I have taken one array of the name ARR, means ARR, and the size is 5, and I declare this ARR array of the type integer. Okay, and what is 5? 5 is the size of array, and that's why I initialize this array with the 5 different values: 10, 20, 30, 40, and then 50. Okay, and you remember, actually what I have did here, just I have combined the two statements, declaration as well as initialization. In the left LHS side, I just declare the array. You see only the LHS side, int ARR5, means this is the declaration. And when you consider the both parts of this statement, is ARR5 equal to 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, the completely this statement is the initialization statement. Means you can combine the declaration as well as the initialization on a single statement. Just I have given the comment declaring and initializing array in C. Okay. To initialize all array elements to 0, use int ARR5 equal to 0. Suppose if you want to initialize all elements as a 0, not a 10, 20, 30, 40, 50 or any other values. Means suppose if you want to give 0, 0, 0 for all values, then you have to use the statement ARR5 equal to 0. Means by default it assigns 0 to all 5 values. Suppose if you do not want, then you can initialize individually also. So how to initialize individually? Using the array indexes 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. ARR of 0 is equal to 10, ARR of 1 is equal to 20, ARR of 2 equal to 30, then third element 40, fourth element 50. Do not use any annotate tool because it disturbs all of you. It just scraps the screens and it may find difficulty for all of you to understand the content. So please do not use any annotate tool. Please do not draw anything on the screen. Please erase this content. So after initializing this, just I have used here the for loop. How I use the for loop? Actually, I have 5 values: 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. These are the 5 values as you count. But as per the storage, it starts from the 0. And that's why the last value is 4. So I equal to 0, I is less than 5, I plus plus. Why I have taken here the condition as I is less than 5? Because the array element always starts with the 0th location. And as the first element start at 0th location, the fifth element will be at the 4th location. And that's why I use here I is less than 5. If you, instead of this, if you use I is less than or equal to 5, then it asks for the sixth value for you, for the user. Okay. So in the for loop, just I print the values. Printf, by using the printf statement. Printf value of ARR percent d is percent d. I ARR I means what will be the output? The output is like value of ARR 0 is 10. Value of ARR 1 percent d means indexes 1 is 20. Value of ARR 2 is 30. Value of ARR 3 into the bracket ARR 3 is 40, and value of ARR 4 is 50. Just like see here, ARR 4 is equal to 50, ARR 3 is equal to 40. So like the output will be printed on the screen. And this is the example of one dimensional array. How to declare the one dimensional array, how to initialize it, and how to use it into the programming. So I have just used here just only for printing the values of array. Then second type is the multidimensional array. Multidimensional array means the array of arrays is called as multidimensional array, or in a very simple words, or in other words, the array is created with more than one dimension, more than one size, and that is called as multidimensional. Means if you created array more than one dimension, then it is called as multidimension. Means if you are created array for the two dimension, three dimension, four dimension, then it is called as the multidimensional array. The multidimensional array can be of 2D, 3D or 4D or more. Most popular and most commonly used multidimensional array is two-dimensional array. And all of you know that the very popular example of two-dimensional array is the mathematical matrices. As you learn the concept of matrices in the mathematics subject. So what is that? The matrices is nothing but it is the combination of rows and columns. And the rows and columns are collectively represented two dimension, because the row size and column size, these are the two dimensions, and that's why the popular example of 2D array is the representation of matrices in the mathematics. See, this is the diagrammatic representation of multidimensional array, just like the one dimensional array. Once again, you see here, this is the pictorial representation of multidimensional array. In the first figure, I have taken the example of matrix 4 by 3. Means I have taken the array name as a matrix, row size is 4 and column size is 3. So accordingly, in the second figure, you see that 4 by 3 means what? 4 is the row size. See here, 1, 2, 3 and then 4. And what is 3? 3 means the column size. 0, 1, 2. These are the vertical boxes are the columns, and these are the horizontal boxes are the rows. 4 by 3. 4 threes are 12, means this array matrix 4 3 is contains matrix contains the total 12 values. See here, all these are the 12 values: 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11 and then 12. So this is the linear representation of array. This is just I have here, just I am describing you in the form of matrix, in the form of table. And how to refer the particular element? Just like your mathematical notation, you can also refer the same notations. Suppose I want to refer the value 30 from the matrix, then what I have to write? Then I have to write matrix 0 2. What is 0? 0 is the row size, 0 is the row and 2 is the column. This 30 is the intersection of 0th row and second column, and that's why here notation is used matrix 0 2. Suppose here I use the matrix 2 of 1. What is the meaning? 2 means the first is the row size, second is the column size. 2 means the second row and 1 means the first column. So second row and this one first column, the intersection of second row and first column, and the value would be the 80. Okay, and similarly here the last example is matrix 3 0, means 3 means third row and 0 means zeroth column, and the intersection is 100. So matrix 3 of 0 is equal to 100. And when you are using the concept of two-dimensional array into the programming with the help of array concept, then internally in the memory structure is created just like the first diagram. The structure will be created just like the first diagram. As it is the array, it is a linear collection of elements, or it is also called as a linear collection of homogeneous data. Homogeneous data means the similar type of data. It consists of same type of data, and all the data are stored sequentially, one after another. And that's why it is called as the linear arrays, sequential arrays. So this is about the one dimensional array and the multi-dimensional array. Clear? Any doubt? Now the next point is the advantages of the array. So what are the advantages? What are the disadvantages of the array? Means what are the benefits of using the arrays? First of all, we see the benefits. Okay, the first benefit is it is better and convenient way of storing the data of same type with same size. Means if you want to store the same data type elements under one name, then you can use the concept of arrays instead of declaring the number of variables. Suppose for example, I want to create the array of size 10, and suppose if I am not using the concept of array, then the alternative way is I have to declare the 10 different variables, and I initialize the 10 different values to the 10 variables. So instead of that, you have to use the concept of array, because array is the concept where you have to store the similar data type. The second benefit is it allows us to store known number of elements. Means once you declare the size of array, just like num5, means you know in advance the 5 elements that you have to store. Okay. The third benefit is it allocates memory in a contiguous memory locations. Just I already told you that contiguous means linearly, one after another. This is called as the contiguous fashion. So it does not allocate any extra space or memory for its elements. So there is no memory overflow or no shortage of memory. Means once you declare the array size, that many spaces or that many blocks will be reserved into the computer's memory. The next benefit, next advantage is in array, accessing an element is very easy by using the index number. In the last slide, we have already seen that suppose I want to refer the particular element, particular value, then it becomes a very easy, very easy with the help of index number, ARR1, ARR of 2, ARR3. So with the help of these index numbers, you can easily access the values from the array. In case of the array, the searching process is also very easy. Means you can easily search the element because all the elements are allocated sequentially one after another, and that's why this searching process is also very easy. Then using arrays, other data structures like linked list, stack, queue, tree, graphs can be implemented. Now, at this moment, you understand only the words linked list, stack, queue, tree, graph, because these are the concept of the data structure and which you have in the second year BSc. Means at SY BSc, you have one of the subject as a data structure, and into that data structure, you have the various concept list, stack, queue, tree, graph, and all these concepts are implemented with the help of the arrays. 2D arrays are generally used to represent matrices that we have already seen in the previous slide. Now these are the disadvantages. These are the disadvantages uh, of the array. The first very big advantage is that the array is a static structure. Static means what? Fixed. Fixed means once you declare the array for particular size, then it becomes fixed. Suppose I declare the array num for the size 5, then the 5 size is fixed. Once I declare, that cannot be modified, and that's why at runtime you cannot be increase as well as decrease the size. Means at the time of execution, if you feel that you want to add one more or the 5 more elements, then at that situation you cannot increase the size of array, and this is one of the drawback, one of the disadvantage of the array, because array is the fixed data type structure. It is not a dynamic. Insertion and deletions are quite difficult in case of the arrays, because all the elements are stored sequentially. So as per the insertion, as per the deletion operation, you can shift the elements as a lower side or the upper side, and that becomes a costly. And that's why in the both operations, insertion means to add and deletion means to remove. And that's why these two operations are difficult. Allocating more memory than the requirement leads to the wastage of memory space, and less memory also leads to a problem. Okay, means once you declare the array size is 5, then you have to store the 5 elements. But if you declare the particular array for the size 10 and you are just storing only 5 values, then what about the 5 remaining vacant places? This is the wastage of memory space. And similarly for the less allocation. Okay, and the last drawback is the array is homogeneous. Homogeneous means array consists of the same kind of the elements, and that's why it is called as the homogeneous. Homogeneous means similar, means once you declare array for the type integer, then it can store only integer elements. You cannot store the one value is double, one value is float, and one value is character. No, never. This never happens, because the definition of array is it is a collection of similar data items. Similar means once you declare particular array for the integer, then you can store only integers. You can, if you declare the array for the float, then all the values are of the same type float. But this is not happen. Just like the one value is float, one value is double, and the one value is character, and you declare the array as a type integer. No, never. This is not happen. So once you declare the array for one kind of the data type, then it must store all the values of the same data type. So these are the advantages and disadvantages. And the last topic is the applications. Applications, there are the many applications of the arrays. Generally the arrays are used to implement the vectors and lists, and that is the part of C++ STL. You only remember the concepts of the vector and list because in the next year you have the C++ language and STL concepts, so into that you have to learn the vectors and lists. The arrays are generally used to implement the stack and queues. As I already told you that the stack and queues are the data structures. Tree is also the data structure. With the help of this array, you can also implement the concept of trees. Matrices are a very important part of the mathematical library, and that matrices are implemented again with the help of arrays. Adjacency list, which is available in case of the graphs as well as the linked list in the data structure, that can be implemented with the help of arrays. Then heap, map, set, you only remember the words heap, map, set, tree, graph, then stack, queue, because all these are the concepts of data structures and that you have to learn in the next year. So all these concepts are implemented with the help of arrays. Arrays are used to maintain the multiple variables with the same name. One of the very great benefit of the arrays is it just generally used for the CPU scheduling algorithms. CPU scheduling algorithms. This is the concept of operating system. CPU scheduling algorithms, when multiple tasks are given for a computer to execute, in that case, the CPU scheduling algorithms are useful. Okay, and the last one is this all sorting